Please open your Science Fusion book today to Lesson 4, page 229. Now would be a good time to pause the video to open to these pages. Essential question. How does Earth's surface change quickly? Engage your brain. Find the answer to the following question in this lesson and record it here. These used to be living plants, but now they are dead. The ground is covered in ash. What might have caused these changes? When you find the answer in the lesson, you can turn back and write it on the lines below. Active reading. Lesson vocabulary. List the terms as you learn about each one. Make notes in the interactive glossary. So when you find the highlighted words, we're going to come back and write the 3 words on the lines below. Signal words, sequence. Signal words show connections between ideas. Words that signal sequence include now, before, after, first, next, and then. Active readers remember what they read because they are alert to signal words that identify sequence. Now we're on page 230 and 231 in our Science Fusion book. Earthquake! Shaken up! Earth's surface begins to shake. The ground splits. Buildings crack and some fall. What's happening? Active reading. As you read this page, underline the clue word that signals a cause. So you're going to look for something that would give away that the cause would be coming up. An earthquake is a shaking of Earth's surface that can cause land to rise and fall. Most earthquakes are too weak to be felt, but strong earthquakes can cause a big change on Earth's surface. What causes earthquakes? Earthquakes happen because of movements in Earth's crust. They occur mostly in places where 2 pieces of crust meet. Pieces may push together, pull apart, or slide past each other. The map shows places where earthquakes are most likely to happen. Down below in the caption, an earthquake can cause great damage over a small or large area. Okay, now let's go back up and look inside of the active reading area there. Pause the video and look for the signal word that would signal a cause. Okay, the signal word that signals a cause is the word because. There was a vocab word up below that was highlighted. Please write earthquake back on page 229. Let's look at the picture over on the other side on page 231. It says the legend next to the map shows an area's risk for earthquakes. So this part right here is our legend. Use the legend to answer the questions below the map. So over in our legend area, you can see that in the legend, the red is the high risk for earthquakes, all the way down to the blue for low risk. So you can see in our area of Minnesota, we're at a low risk. Does San Francisco or Boise have the higher earthquake risk? So then we got to look for where is San Francisco and where is Boise? Right here, there's San Francisco and here's Boise. So right where Boise is at and right where San Francisco is at, which town or city has the highest risk for earthquake? Pause the video and write the answer below. Awesome. The answer was San Francisco. Now let's look at the one just down below that. Find Dallas and Miami on the map. So where is Dallas at? Dallas, Texas. So here we go. Dallas and Miami, Florida. There's Miami. It looks like blue. And Dallas in green. Which city has the lower earthquake risk? So then we got to look over at our legend. Blue would be the lowest risk. Let's see if any one of those is blue. Dallas is green. Miami's blue. Pause the video and write the answer below. The answer for question 2 was Miami. Turn to page 232 and 233. Volcano! Feel the heat! What's as big as a mountain with so much smoke that you can see it from space? Read on to find out. Active reading. As you read these 2 pages, circle signal words that show sequence. So remember, our signal words for sequence were words like first, next, then, after, before, later. Those were all kind of sequence words. Now, there were a couple others as well, but those were examples of some signal words. Oh, here we go. We're going to start reading. A volcano is a mountain made of cooled lava, ash, or other materials from eruptions. Like earthquakes, volcanoes are caused by movements of Earth's crust. In some places, one piece of crust slides under another. This causes rock underground to melt. This melted rock, called magma, moves upward. If it reaches an opening, it will erupt onto Earth's surface. The melted rock is then called lava. As the lava cools, it gets harder. Some volcanoes grow larger with every eruption. In some volcanoes, lava gently oozes out. Other volcanoes explode. Lava, stone, and ash are thrown from the volcano's openings with tremendous force. Exploding volcanoes can quickly change the Earth's surface. If you pause the video and look for, there is one sequence word from up above. Okay, the sequence word that you should have found was the word then. Let's go and look at the caption over here that's referring to the picture. Red hot melted rock called magma comes up from underground. When it reaches the surface, we call it lava. So this area up here would be called lava. Okay, page 233. Remember to be looking for those sequence words. When you find them, you can circle them. In May 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted. First, there was an earthquake. Then the volcano began to spit out lava and ash. The eruption went on for 9 hours. Nearly 379 square kilometers, 230 square miles of forest was buried or blown down. Let's look at the pictures over on the right-hand side. Before it erupted, Mount St. Helens in Washington was 2,950 meters, or 9,677 feet high. Many plants and animals lived on the mountain, so here it is. The eruption of Mount St. Helens sent more than 1 trillion pounds of ash across the United States. Many plants and animals that lived on the mountain died. Years later, the mountain is more than 305 meters, 1,000 feet, lower, but life has returned. The mountain again provides habitats for many different plants and animals. Go ahead and pause the video and circle all the sequence words from the page. Okay, let's go through the sequence words. From the very first paragraph that was in white, there was the word first and the word then. In the first picture, you should have found the word before. And then there was no sequence words in the second picture, but the third picture, you should have found the word later. Okay, what happened here? Look at the images above. Describe how Mount St. Helens has changed the land around it. So looking at the land around the mountain, what has changed from the very start to the end? Go ahead and pause the video and write in an answer. If you looked at the top of the picture, you can see what kind of happened to the mountain. There was a huge crater that formed after the mountain erupted. The forest had burned down, but new plants have grown since. So you can see there's new plants growing around again. Okay, now we're on page 234 and 235. Big changes: fire, water, mud. A little bit of fire, water, or mud can be very useful. But what if there is too much? Active reading. As you read, underline the main idea about each change. So you're underlining the main idea about each change. Circle details that tell more about each idea. Okay, underline the main idea about each change. We're circling the details. Okay, looking at this paragraph down below. A forest fire starts small. It can be sparked by lightning, a bit of lava, or a careless person. People have to act quickly to control forest fires. Too much rain in too short a period of time can cause a flood. A flood is a change that happens when streams, rivers, or lakes get too full and overflow. Entire towns can be destroyed. Many plants may die, and animals may have to find new homes. Over time, floodwater drains away, dries up, or is absorbed into the ground. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video. There are two main ideas and there are two details that you should be circling. So there should be one main idea with a detail, another main idea with another detail. Pause the video to find them. Okay, the very first main idea you should have underlined would be a forest fire starts small. The detail that supports that is it can be sparked by lightning, a bit of lava, or a careless person. The other main idea that you should have found is too much rain in too short a period of time can cause a flood. The detail that supports that is entire towns can be destroyed. Many plants may die and animals may have to find new homes. Okay, let's look at this picture right in the middle here. It says floodwaters in Nashville, Tennessee. Sometimes water from rain or a flood loosens dirt on the side of a hill or mountain. The dirt slides downhill in a mudslide or landslide. It may bury part of a town. So you can kind of see in this area here where mudslides might occur. Do the math. Skip count by 5. The Smith River overflows its banks after at least 30 centimeters of rainfall in one day. Rain is falling at 5 centimeters an hour. How long will it have to rain before the river overflows? So if you started counting by 5 up until 30, remember it's 5 for every hour. Pause the video and figure out how many times you need to count by 5s. Okay, let's count by 5s. It should have been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. If you counted up the amount of times you counted, you would have 6 hours.